Okay, introduce yourselves if you could.
I'm Master Michael.
I'm Slave Angie.
Okay.
We are International Master and Slave 2014 from Chicago and GLLA.
Yes.
Cool. And that's only happened last month, right?
March
How?
9th.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this will be coming out just as April starts. So, how's that first month been?
Well, when the reality sets in, we'll let you know.
Yeah, the very next day, woke up, and the second thing I said to her was, "What the hell did we just get ourselves into?"
And this has been like what? So basically a 2-3 year process.
No.
Yeah,
Or even longer?
over 3 years. We competed in 2011, so she actually came to me back in 2010. That was when we worked with the Illinois Leather Contest at the time, with the previous producer, with Phil and Joey.
Joey Ariega?
Yes.
Okay.
And so after that contest, she came to me and said, "We should run for a title." And my very first words were, "The hell do we need that for?"
Well, it was actually before that.
Was it? I thought
Yes.
I remember the conversation after that, but you do
Because
have a better memory.
we tallied at the contest. So Master Gallet and Slave Kelly wanted us to run, but it was literally
that's right.
weeks before
Yes.
the contest. We're like, we can't do this 2 weeks before the contest. And he's like, no, we're not gonna run. Let's just go see what it's all about. So he's got this really good put off tactic. So we went and did I tallied. No, I was the judge's slave.
You were the judge's slave at Illinois Leather.
Right.
I just hung around and drank a lot.
Right. Then the following year, there wasn't any contest.
Right.
Illinois didn't have a contest. So we went to GLLA, and we both tallied for Riley, the boot
You
black.
tallied for the boot black, I tallied for the Surin boy.
Right. So we got a chance to see what GLLA was like.
And so then in September of 2011, we competed for the first time, and we didn't win. And I was done. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And then I had a talk with Boot Dog,
Who gave you a kick in the pants?
yeah, he did.
He said, I didn't win the first time either. Do you want to know how many times I tried? You don't give up.
There was a lot of that, and just some really good, heartfelt discussion, and how he felt about it, and it was very inspiring. So I surprised the hell out of her. I think it was IML weekend.
It was a conductor's run.
Oh, was it? Yes.
You were having a good old time, and you were feeling very happy.
And then I surprised her and said, "Oh, let's run again."
Mm-hmm.
Could have knocked her over with a feather.
Yeah.
We ran the first time for the wrong reasons, and we just had our heads up our butts.
Can you say what those reasons were?
Well, I think especially with the Master Slave title, because you're teaching, because you're having to go out and talk about your dynamic and talk about it, you think you really have to open yourself up. We didn't do that the first time. We were kind of coming in and being a little cocky and thinking we were all that, and so it took us down a notch, and it was good because we had to take a step back, and then we started really looking at the other contestants, and we started going back and looking at the things that at the time, International Master Slave 2011, Liza and Jody. They were the ones that had inspired us at first. Then we started really talking to them and understanding what they had done with it. And it was that realization that we needed to be ourselves and express who we were and really open up. And so we kind of learned that lesson the hard way and just started doing that.
And 3 years later...
3 years later. Yeah. Well, we had a very long stint because we won the Illinois Master Slave in September of 2012. And then because of the change with International Leather Sir Boy moving to Labor Day weekend, Sir Bear and Ron, who are the producers of Illinois Leather Fetish, decided to move it to President's Day. And so we had that title for a year and a half.
You made it worthwhile, I think, though. You, first, I know you guys were doing a lot of traveling, even with the state title.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then you got Great Lakes in August of 2013?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And still kept traveling.
Well,
you've been busy.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been so many people that have kind of inspired us to do that. And Liza and Jody are a perfect example. They traveled a lot. We've watched all of the boot blacks who we're really close to, and when they win titles, they travel all over the place. Who else have we seen traveling? Well, Sarah has been doing a lot of traveling. I mean, you know, so we wanted to emulate that because that we thought was what the title was partially about, is getting out there, being of service, going out and you know, meeting and learning and sharing and representing.
Yeah, and I know you already have some travel. You were actually having a trip to the UK planned.
Yes.
Which I think that might be a first for this title.
This title?
I don't know, because I don't know like the history of the title holders in the 90s and the early 2000s. I don't believe any of the recent title holders have traveled overseas. And if they have, well, we're just gonna follow in their footsteps. But yeah, we're really excited. We have really good friends over in the UK. There is a new mass chapter in Plymouth in the UK. It's in the southwest corner. So we're gonna go visit there, and then we're gonna go visit Edinburgh for a couple of days, and then we're going to the Midlands of the UK. There's a big show called the Birmingham Bazaar.
The BBB.
The BBB, and we know some really good friends out that way, so we're going to go present there as well. I was there in 2003 at the BBB, so this is kind of neat to go back and see how it's changed.
So we'll really get a chance to talk about the different culture of the MS in the United States and over there. They really don't have the contestant track that we have.
You know, they don't have any sort of titles over there, so they're very curious as to what it's all about, and they want to know about leather and MS and how things are different.
And I've noticed that there's been a few IML contestants from the UK, and one really good IML, but a lot of, usually it's like, it can skip a year sometimes.
Right.
So.
Right.
I know you have some plans with the UK. I already have you thought about some goals you have for this year?
Just get out, do a lot of traveling. We are visiting all 5 of the theaters within the United States. Our first one will be Northwest, which will be in the middle of May. Then we're going to visit Southeast, Master Slave for the Northeast, and finally Southwest, and of course GLLA in August. Goals, we want to share our dynamic. We want to share the things that are important to us, the passion, the joy, the happiness that we have for our dynamic and how we've made it work. We want to share some of the things that we've encountered, health and disability issues that we speak about. We want to talk about, you know, service and just share those things and then learn from people. I mean, there's just so much to learn from all sorts of different communities, and this is really an opportunity to get out there and do that and to really learn from both the big areas and to go into wherever we can, small mass groups, small events, small lunches, wherever we can, and just talk about who we are and learn from them. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nope, that's pretty much both of our goals.
Yeah.
And what have you seen? What kind of reaction people in the region have? Because I know I think you're the first Great Lakes Master Slave to win.
Yes, we are.
The first Chicago area people to win an international title in
20 years.
Yeah. So no pressure or anything.
No.
Yeah. So how have people been reacting?
It's been amazing. We just went to Michigan Leather Sir Boy contest. They just held their very first Master Slave contest the week right after International. So come home, we didn't even bother to unpack. We just kind of moved stuff around and then immediately went. But the reaction's been really, really wonderful. Really grateful. Almost the entire GLA family came up there. And so that was really nice. We got to see them.
Yeah, I actually saw some of that on Facebook. I mean, all of a sudden it's okay, so basically everyone in the Midwest is in Michigan right now.
Yeah, yeah, it was really nice. The Great Lakes family has just been wonderful. I mean, even before the contest, we got to know a lot of the people who were involved, and we've always felt like Great Lakes was home. It's just everybody there is so nice and welcoming, and we've continued to feel that. And oh God, when we got a chance to show Miss Kendra the patches, and she's crying and I'm crying and everybody's crying, and it was wonderful to finally to give that to her. So.
Yeah, and it's a momentum that you can feel. It's like everybody around you is really excited. So
Yeah.
Any thoughts of what you might do after your title year is done? I know that's a little ways off. Are you just not even thinking about that just yet?
Sleep. Sleep. I don't know. One of the things that we're hoping to end the title year with in January, February, if we can make it work, is to go to Australia.
Oh wow!
yes,
Because this was the 25th anniversary of the international, and it was actually an international contest because we had a couple from Australia, Master Joe and Slave Kim from Melbourne compete. Really wonderful folks. We also got to meet a title holding pair from Australia.
brand new title.
Yeah, Australia Master Slave. It was Sir Mad Dog and Amy Zumi.
Amy Zumi.
Yes. So we got to meet them, and so they were very welcoming. Like, oh yeah, come on down. So we're gonna try and make it work. We were really grateful that everyone at SPLF was so generous. They've really helped us out with a really nice travel fund, and so we're hoping to spend every penny and being able to go out and represent.
Cool.
So what are we going to do after, aside from sleep?
Ride the motorcycle, go up north, ride the motorcycle.
And probably, I mean, they say that the work starts after the title is over. So I'm sure now that we belong to Miss Kendra, and we belong to Slave Marcia, Master Jim, and Sir Cougar.
Yes.
And we still, somewhere in there, I think Master Bear and Ron say that they've got a little bit, so I'm sure we're going to end up being very busy.
Yeah. And you've been really. I don't know how well known it is, but you were actually active in the activism for the marriage equality here in Illinois.
Yes.
I think even before you went for Great Lakes Leather.
Yes. Yeah, that was when we competed. We had already in 2012, but we had already been involved in supporting that. And then last year, of course, it became the law of Illinois, and now it's
Yeah.
now I can't go back. So we'll see what the future brings. We're going to be really busy with the title year, but we'll see where we're called.
Is there anything you'd like to say because I know there were a lot of people pulling for you when word came across the internet through text and Facebook that you'd won, basically the Midwest went insane for a night. So, is there anything you'd like to say to everyone who was watching and rooting for you back here in the Midwest?
Thank you. We are really grateful, and if we can be of service, please let us know. That's what we think, at least for us, title holding is about, is being of service to the community. We have a really wonderful MS community. We have some really wonderful opportunities in the Midwest for master slaves and people interested in the power exchange dynamic. And if we can help in any way to help that happen, we want to.
Right. And along with the thank you that we really felt when we went to compete for the title, that all of them were with us. Somehow, being there, we felt like everybody was with us there.
Yeah.
It was really neat.
It was, and we would like to encourage anyone who's interested to get involved. The title's what you make of it, and so, we're making of it what we want, but there's so many opportunities for other people to get involved, and we encourage that.